All right. Good night. Good night. Good evening. Good night. Whatever it is. Good night is like saying goodbye, right? But we're starting it up. So, like I said, so today we're going to go over chapter three, discovering what you want, which is a very similar to chapter two, but it just builds upon it a little more, gives a little more clarity on that. And then we'll get into chapter four, which is the magnetizing and using the energy work and the magnetism to really draw to you what you want. Because it's like we talk about living in an energetic universe, right? And like how we're magnets. And you think about a magnet pulls to it. That magnetism is drawing to it. Um, Through energy, it's pulling things to it, and we're like constant magnets. We're all constantly moving and magnetizing and drawing certain events, experiences, and circumstances to us uh, through our energy, through our consciousness, through our belief systems. So I'm just going to get into it. I'm going to do the screen share, get into the notes. Anybody want to say anything before I start? All right, where's the screen share button at? Where's it at, Jerome? I always ask you. You never say nothing.
Middle, bottom.
The middle. I don't see it for some reason today. I always see it before. Oh, there it is. What the hell? I'm looking right at it. There we go. Thanks, Jerome.
Okay.
But bang, look at that. Y'all see it? Discovering what you want, chapter 3. Now this sentence right here is at the end of the chapter, but I'm gonna put it in the front just to get you thinking, because it's really about you've heard the saying less is more, right? And a lot of times, and we're really going to get to the point by the end of these notes, when we get through it, we're going to get to the point of taking more off our plates than rather than putting things on our plates, if that makes any sense. We're going to we're going to go through a process of slicing down the mental list of all these shouldas, couldas, and wouldas to really simplify and to focus on what do we really want. And so this question right here is a real important question just to think about. That what is the single most important thing that I could create in my life right now? And just table that for a moment, but we're going to get back to it. But just realize that at the end, that's what this all comes down to. What's really important right now, because a lot of times we should all over ourselves. And I'm going to get into this later again. We should all over ourselves and just weigh ourselves down with all this mental list of all these things that we could have done or should have done, and we need to do this. But we never really take the time to really soul search and look at each thing. All right, so let's work our way towards that point. But in the next chapter, Magnetizing What You Want, you'll learn how to work with energy and magnetism to draw to you what you want to know, what you want to you, right? You're going to draw it, what you want to you. Hold on, I got to yell at my family real quick.
Shut up!
All right, I'm back. Before magnetizing, you'll want to know the essence of something will give you. Now, the needs it'll fulfill, and the higher qualities, we talked about that last week. The higher qualities you can express more fully to fulfill those needs. In this chapter, you'll want to learn how to get clear about the essence of what you want, as well as the specific form if you know it. Then when you magnetize what you want, it comes to you, and it'll be in a form that truly satisfies you and brings you joy. As a result, you'll draw things to you that are even better than what you can imagine. A lot of times, let me just keep going for a second. I'll get back to it. You can effectively draw things to you, whether or not you know the specific form or amount. That's good for me because I'm very bad at knowing specific forms and amounts sometimes, or the appearance of the items you want. You do need to know the essence, however. So the essence is the important key factor right here. And right here, I got it highlighted here that the essence of something is the function you want this item to perform, the purpose you'll use it for, or what you think it'll give you. Many things other than what you picture, you might give you what you want. So be open to letting what you want come to you in whatever way or size or shape or form is most appropriate. I know the essence of what I want and I get it. So basically saying a lot of times we have preconceived ideas of what we think we need or want, and by not looking at and to be open that what we want, the essence of what we want can come to us in different ways, in shapes and forms. By knowing the essence of what you really want, you make it possible to get it in many ways. For instance, If the essence of what you want from your car is to more reliable transportation, you might be able to find ways to create that besides buying a new car. If you don't know the essence of what you want, you may buy a car that is just as unreliable as the one you have. Now, in magnetizing is very powerful because you're going to be bringing this stuff to you. And it's really, really, really important to get really clear about the essence and the higher qualities and things of that nature, so that like the magnetism works just happens simple, easily, effortlessly. The more clear, the more concise, the more succinct you are in being clear about your want, what you're trying to magnetize and draw into your life, the easier and the faster and the simpler it happens. So even if you know the form of what you want, you still want to know the essence. To discover the essence, get as specific as you can. As you get more and more specific, you'll discover the essence of what you want. The things I create are even better than I imagine them to be. If you ask for something indefinite, such as to be rich or to be happy, ask yourself, how would I know if I were be happy? How much money would I have to have in the bank to consider myself rich? How much monthly income? How much extra money to spend on certain items would I want? When you ask for the extra money, but you don't say how much, you may get an extra dollar rather than a larger but unstated amount you were thinking of. What's that old saying? Like, penny, thought of a penny or something? I can't think of it. Anybody remember it? That, you could just want more and you get a penny more, and that's not really what you wanted. You're not really clear on, and to be specific. So when you magnetize, you can either picture the specific object you want and the functions and requirements you want it to fulfill, or picture the requirements you want it to fulfill and let it come in whatever form is best. Either way will work. You don't have to have the form. You don't have to always have the shape. You don't always have to have the picture clear, is what I'm trying to say, and what I believe it's trying to say here. But you got to be clear about the feeling, the essence of what it is that you're drawing to you. Once you're clear about the essence of what you want, learn to recognize it when it comes. To magnetize successfully, focus on creating what you want, not on getting rid of something you don't want. Now, most people, when you ask them about what they want in their life, first of all, the first thing that pops in their mind is everything they don't want. They don't want this, they don't want that. And so what do they get more of? What they don't want. And a lot of times, looking at what you don't want helps you to get clear about what you really do want, because if you look at what you don't want, you look at the opposite of it. You can use that as a list of, okay, well, I don't want this, but then what would the opposite of that be? Is that something you do want? You see? Another important aspect of magnetizing is to be sure that what you are asking for is something you can imagine. Now, we kind of talked about this last week, and I really like the fact that what I was just saying, it's like reestablished again here, that another important aspect, and this is so crucial, of magnetizing is to be sure that what you're asking for is something you can imagine having. If you want $1 million, can you really imagine having it? $1 million might not seem real to you, particularly if you're having trouble paying your rent easily on time each month. Your belief that it's possible may not be strong enough to draw this money to you within the time frame that you would give you an experience of success with your magnetizing. It's best to start by asking for those things you can imagine yourself having. Because that's what I say, start small and let the energy build. And then as you get good, like it says, when you start with items that you believe are possible to create, you get the experience of the successful results of your magnetism and energy work, and then strengthens your belief in your ability to create what you want. And with that strengthened belief, that strengthened confidence, your energy gets stronger, and you just can believe about bigger things. Each success builds upon the one before. Your subconscious builds a stronger and stronger belief in your ability to manifest. And with that confidence, it gains the ability to create more and more abundance for you. As you experience success, you develop a belief in the inner knowing that it's possible to create even those things that felt impossible when you started. It is that inner feeling, and this is real key, inner feeling. It always comes back to the feeling nature, right? It's that inner feeling, the knowing that it's possible or even probable that you'll have what you want, that's important when you get ready to draw objects into your life. It's this feeling of, is this possible? Because like I always say, the feeling is what creates this, is the creative force. Magnetize things you truly want and are prepared to have and are excited about having. Then this is the other crucial thing too, is look at what you really want. Like we're saying, we're getting clear. If after thinking that you, let me start again. If after thinking that you want something, I guess it's a typo here, you realize that you aren't truly prepared to go after it, make it your primary focus, it's better to let go of wanting it and put your energy into getting something else that is truly meaningful for you. If you aren't truly motivated and clear on your intent to have something, you may not draw it to you. Magnetize what you truly want, not something that is a compromise. Again, get away from the shouldas and look at what you really want. Where's the energy at? What do you love? Like what really pulls at your heartstrings, because that's where the emotional energy is going to be. That's what's going to get you to take action and to go for it and to make it happen. And many of us have a mental list of things that we want that we don't yet have. Every time you refer to this list, and everybody's got this list, by the way, right? Every time we refer to this list mentally, right, we think of the things that are unfulfilled wants and tell ourselves that you aren't successful in creating what you want. Make a list of everything you've been thinking you want and do some soul searching and ask yourself, do you really want these things? Are they old pictures of what you think you should want? Take all the important stuff off your mental list. And it's such a freeing thing to lighten your load and to realize a lot of stuff that you think that you want, you really don't even want. And then focus on the real key things that you really do want. Take off all the unimportant things off your mental list until you're left with only a few really important things that you want to create. And that's why I say less is more. You're motivated to create the things that you love, the things that bring you delight, not just relief. We talked about relief last week too, right? You know, many of you say to yourselves, I should create money to pay off debts, get car fixed, or get this or that. Shoulds don't give enough emotional energy. Again, emotional energy, feeling, right? To create abundance and do not come from your higher self. A lot of times we should all over ourselves. You ever heard that saying, you should all over yourselves? So last thing, be aware that once you start creating with energy and magnetism, you're going to get what you ask for, usually more easily than you expect. Most things will come through normal channels. Don't invalidate your energy work because things come to you easily and naturally. So far, like everything we've talked about sets up, like I said, the base of getting clarity and all these key things. When we go next week into the whole magnetism part, everything that we've talked about and spent time discussing are going to be real key. And I look forward to sharing that next week with you. I'm just going to stop the recording and then we can talk. Where is this?